breaking everything. Hello again. I don't know if it's working. Maybe. Good morning. I don't know what happened. Good morning. Is Brooklyn in the house? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Atlanta. Today's your vote, Atlanta. Big vote today in Atlanta. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. How is everybody doing right now? Oh, hello, Homewood. So I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. I was watching this story last night about this young girl who was being taken off life support after she essentially attempted suicide. And this is the second elementary school suicide I have heard about in the last week. Now, I know that these things are happening, but I feel like it's a lot if I'm hearing about it 2 in 1 week. Elementary school is young. That is young. So I was up early this morning and I was sitting in my kitchen just drinking coffee, and I was reading articles, that people send me, and I was just trying to catch up on the news. And I read this article that said the scary truth about what's hurting our children. So I thought, well, I have children. I want to know. And they were talking about social media. So I was thinking, of course, like bullying, right? Must be bullying. But one of the things that it brought up that I hadn't even thought of, right, is exclusion, the pain of exclusion. When I was in high school, if somebody had a party and I wasn't invited, I didn't know till I got back to school Monday after the weekend and people talked about the party. And maybe I felt slighted for like an hour, but that was it. I didn't have to see pictures of the party on social media for days. I didn't have to scroll through and see how cool everybody else was while I was home doing nothing, being excluded. If my boyfriend broke up with me to date someone else, maybe I saw them in the hallway at school and it was painful enough. I didn't have to see them on social media and have people read commentary about how he's moved on and he's with somebody else, and everybody writing how much prettier she is than I was, and all of these things, right? When we used to hang out with our friends, we hung out in sweatpants. Hell, half the time I was in my pajamas eating fruit roll-ups. Okay, that is real. I didn't have to worry about my friends posting pictures of what I looked like for people to give their opinions while we were sitting around watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because that wasn't a thing. Now, these kids are exposed to everything they are not included in. They are exposed to every single opinion about how they look and what they do and who they date and who breaks up with them. So I was reading this and I realized it is hard for parents, because if you don't get your kids a phone or allow them to have a life on social media, essentially they're not keeping up with the times, right? It would be like when we were young, if your house was the only house without a VCR, right? So you're the only house that can't go to Blockbuster. Nobody's going to want to come hang out at your house if there's no Wi-Fi, right? I don't know. But if you do get them a phone or you do allow them to have social media accounts, we think as parents that we can monitor that to some degree. But the truth is, what this author was saying is what's really hurting our kids is them constantly seeing what they are not included in. And it made me realize, by the way, adults deal with this. How many adults see pictures of other adults they know online getting a drink together and feel slighted or mad that they weren't included? Immediately they go to the worst place in themselves. They don't like me. I'm not cool enough. Those moms didn't want to include me. Those moms didn't whatever. I remember going to a parent dinner where one of the moms asked me not to post a picture of the dinner on social media because she didn't want the other moms who weren't invited to be hurt. And I thought, gosh, that really is what it's come down to. I posted a picture of a birthday dinner with my in-laws, and there were people within our family who felt slighted. I'm like, damn. So imagine what it's doing to like 9 or 10-year-old kids. We think our children, we want to believe that our children have enough self-esteem to see a bat mitzvah or a sweet 16 or a birthday party or a get together or a sleepover or a football game that they weren't included in, and know that they still have value, that doesn't diminish their value because they weren't included. But the truth is they are inundated with it. It's not an isolated incident. Most of our children do have enough self-esteem for an isolated incident, but they are inundated with things that they are not being included in, and it is chipping away at their self-worth, and it is taking them to a point where they are 10 to 14-year-olds. 10 to 14-year-olds are depressed, have considered suicide. No. Michael and I have made the decision. This is our decision. I know this doesn't work for everybody, and my friends tease me about it all the time. Michael and I have made the decision that our children cannot have cell phones. They cannot have any sort of social media account. We will consider it, we said, at 15. My hope is that by the time Olivia is 15, these social media accounts and like what these kids think they can't live without now will already sort of, phase out, and there'll be something new. But it's not up for discussion until then. And everybody says to me, oh, but she plays sports, she'll need a cell phone. I played sports. I never had a cell phone. Yet somehow I never got lost. My mother always found me, and most of the time she was trying to lose me. That's true, Susan. You know it is. Okay? I didn't have a cell phone. Granted, there were payphones, and there aren't any payphones now, but she'll borrow someone else's cell phone to call me if she needs me. Believe me, people know where to find me. I'm just not doing it. Because for me personally, I don't want to have to, as a mother, be responsible for convincing Olivia or Max or Charlie that they are good enough or worthy enough or whatever, while the world on that phone is trying to tell them that they aren't. This is just my choice. But when I read this article, it really made me think about here's the thing. You can agree with me or disagree, but it's not fake news. Kids 10 to 14 are depressed, clinically depressed, and suicidal. 10 to 14. It blows my mind that any mother would have to deal with her child feeling so hopeless at 10 years old. At 10 years old, I don't have to tell you what we should all be doing at 10 years old, what these kids should be thinking about at 10 years old. You know, People used to joke, oh, you're always at the mall. You're always at the mall. That's all you want to do is go to the mall. But at least we were out doing something. Yeah, we were walking around the mall, but we were out doing something. Now, what are these kids doing? In the article, it said that one of the most important things that parents can do now is eat dinner together as a family. When did that stop being a thing? I don't know about y'all, but we ate dinner together as a family growing up every single night at 6:30. It was not an option. Sure, on occasion we had, I don't know, like soccer or Hebrew school or whatever, but we ate dinner together as a family at 6:30. I eat dinner with my children every single night. Michael doesn't like to eat till late, but he has to sit at the table with us. I don't care if you don't eat. You will sit and speak to your children. When did that stop being a thing? And I understand that things come up and there's sports and there's work and I get it. But this article was explaining that most American families stopped doing this. Why? Why did we stop doing this? And they were saying the TV's on and everybody has their phones at the table. I can't believe that. I just am choosing not to believe that. I have to. I cannot believe that I saw a video yesterday of a mother holding the hand of her brain dead child. Elementary school. I know you saw the article about the 10-year-old girl who committed suicide because of somebody put something of her online. Also, I'm going to have a long talk with my kids about who they hang out with. Because if you have friends that are putting stuff on social media without your permission to try to mock you or make fun of you, like, I really don't want to have to go around beating kids' asses. I really don't, but I will. And I'll fight their mamas too. I'm just telling you. I know I'm flawed. I'm working on it, Jesus. I'm working on it. But if somebody's kid puts a video of my kid on social media with the intent of humiliating her, I'm going to burn this whole shit to the ground. I'm going to burn it down. I'm just telling you. I'm not the one. I am terrified. You know where this coffee talk comes from? I am terrified. I am terrified that we are parenting. We are an era of parents who didn't grow up with the things our kids are growing up with. And maybe our parents did too and blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about us. I know how to deal with bullies in the street. I know how to deal with the things I grew up dealing with. I don't know how to deal with these new things. And I am terrified that I will miss something as a mother, that there will be a warning sign right in front of my face and I will miss it because I don't know what I'm looking for. So I do these coffee talks to start these conversations because, mamas, if it ain't us, who's doing it? If it's not us looking out for our kids and fighting for our children and sticking up for our kids, who is doing it? Not the schools. Not the cops. It's us. So I'm like, I don't know. But it never occurred to me. I was always thinking the only thing that would affect our kids is bullying, right? I'm trained to think about bullying. We all are as parents because it's all you hear about, bullying, cyberbullying, bullying, and that's very real. But it never occurred to me that these children are becoming depressed and suicidal over consistently not being included in what they deem the cool life. And I understand it now because I thought, how would I feel if every single day I saw on social media the cooler people hanging out without me? I would feel terrible. These kids don't have the rationale. They don't have the mental capability yet to understand that there is life outside of 5th grade, outside of 7th grade, outside of 9th grade. They believe that their world starts and stops where they are. So they believe that if they are not cool enough or not relevant enough or not included now, that they will never be. And they are Googling how to kill themselves. They are using the gifts that we buy them with the best intentions, their phones, their laptops, their computers, in our own homes. They are Googling how to kill themselves. No. Y'all, no. I cannot. This mama cannot. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I cannot handle it. I just can't. Not for me. And I know it's not for you. And if no other reason, I will not put a phone in my kid's hand until the very last minute I can avoid it, so she can never Google how to kill herself. And I know people will say she'll find a way if she wants to find a way, but I'm not putting it in her hand. I just cannot. Listen, I woke up at 5 a.m. because I could not sleep thinking about this mother. That there is a mother in a hospital right now who has to take her baby off life support. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, no. I cannot. And like, Eden, I feel you. This mama cannot. And let me tell you, if you think it can't be your kid, I implore you to not be naive. So many of these kids seem happy. They look happy. And they're Googling ways to kill themselves. No. Search your kids' history on their phones. Look at what they're Googling. Look at the sites that they go to. And if they don't want to show you, snatch that shit out of their hand. You're not here, and I'm not here to be anybody's friend. Susan Premack said it every day when I was growing up. I didn't get it, but I get it now. You don't have to like me. You don't even have to love me, but you will respect me, and you will let me see your shit. My mother used to go through my backpack, used to go through my purse, read my notes. It used to infuriate me, but now I get it. I was hard to control. Susan didn't understand me. We had a hard time connecting. She was going to get to the bottom of whatever I was in the middle of, one way or another. I remember my mother showing up at the high school, calling every kid I hung out with into the main office to be like, what is going on with her? At the time, I felt like it was an invasion of my privacy. Now I'm like, oh, hell no, Susan, I feel you. Solidarity. I would do the same thing. And listen, this is not a coffee talk for parents to feel like they need to defend their parenting decisions. Y'all do not need to defend your parenting decisions. This is an awareness conversation. This is not a judgment pointing finger conversation. You're the mother. You know your child. If your child is mature enough to handle the things that they may be exposed to on social media, I feel like most of us have a pretty good grip on who our kids are. So you don't feel shamed. Don't feel like you need to defend your decision. This is just awareness. And by the way, it goes to the flip side too. If your child is one of the cool kids and he or she is always posting on social media what they did and who was there and where they were going, just make them mindful of how it may make other kids feel. When my kids' school first started doing the you can't send birthday party invitations in the classroom anymore, I was like, what? Do you know what an inconvenience it is for me to have to mail birthday party invitations or have to create an Evite online when I could just send the invitations with Olivia to school? And you know what the principal said to me? I'm not worried about your inconvenience, Mrs. Sullivan. I'm worried about the children in this school who are left out consistently. And they have to see the birthday party invitations being handed out in class, and they go home and cry because they didn't get one. And you know what I said? You damn right, Mr. Wright. I will be creating an invite. Those invitations will be mailed, or every single kid in this classroom will be invited. And you know what? Bravo to the parents of St. Francis, because we just started inviting the whole damn class. And does it suck sometimes because it's expensive as hell? Yes. But is it more important to me that not one child in my kid's class cries because he or she was left out of a birthday party? Yes. And at first I was all like, oh, this is inconvenient to me. Well, guess what? Suck it up, Jamie. Because these kids are Googling how to kill themselves. And sorry, not on my watch and not because of anything my kids did. I'll invite all of Vestavia can come to my kid's birthday party. If I have to dress up like a clown and juggle frickin' water balloons. That's just what's going to have to happen. Because I know too many people who are hurt because they've been left out. So that's my spiel for the day. I just wanted to make y'all aware. And anybody who's in the club with me, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me, and you don't get privacy because it's my job to protect you and not be your friend club. I'm so happy you're here. But moms, we have to do a better job on our end too, not just to protect our children, but to protect other people's children. Do not believe that you don't have a responsibility to protect other people's children, because you do. If you know that someone is being left out because of behavior your child is exuding and you don't step in to say, no. You either include everybody, or I get it. You want to have a play date with a couple of friends and you're 10, you're not posting shit on social media. Sorry. No. We don't need everybody, every Tom, Dick, and pedophile to know that you had friends over. They don't need to see you in your pajamas. These are not things people need to see. Thank you very much. And we're going to be mindful of other people's feelings because we just are. I love you guys so much. I'm in my robe. I love you. This is an important coffee talk to share. If you could take 2 minutes out of your day and hit that share button, other people need to hear this because they just do. It may save one parent. It may save one child. One parent may see this coffee talk and go through her kid's phone. And who knows? Who knows? Okay. I'm joking. Hi, Kevin. Oh, Kim, welcome. I love you guys so much. Have a great, great day.